Achieving your financial freedom. Why is it important? How do you go about doing it? And what are the steps and what will you get out of it? These are all those very important things that we need to assess. And let's just deep dive into it as to why is financial important right out of the gate. Because unless you don't understand why something is important for you, the motivation to do that and achieve that on a day in day out basis does not exist at all. So let's talk about the why part here. So first thing, financial independence. And before even we go into that financial independence aspect, I just want to quickly touch upon, like, what does the word financial independence mean? It is not as if one fine morning you will wake up and you will say we are independent financially. It's a process. You have to get there. It takes time, and independence can have a different meaning for different people. So that is also what you need to be careful about. And financially, uh, if you for some, the independence aspect could be if you are able to make 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. But in my opinion, the part on making money is not as important as to the part around how you spend that money and what is the lifestyle that you maintain at the background for it. You might be making 100,000 in a year, you still might feel financially independent. You might be making $1 million and might not find yourself to be financially independent. It's a very relative question, and hence we need to take it into that account. So that's the one thing. I leave that to you. And the best way to identify that piece as to how and where you are able to achieve your financial independence, or what is that number, is that you sum up all your expenses for a month and also add on all the other stuff that you want to do, like if you want to travel, if you want to help other people, or if you want to build businesses or whatever that may be, you add up all that number and it'll give you a per month or a per year number. And that is the number which you will get to know that this is the number, if I have, that will make me financially independent. So that's the independent aspect of it. Now the question is, okay, why do you need to do that? So a lot of us actually struggle throughout our lives working through a lot of jobs which we don't find motivational, or we don't find them fulfilling, yet we continue to do them just because it needs to pay the bills. You need to, you're living in a house, living in a certain lifestyle, you got to maintain that, and you continue doing that. And it's all on a very fragile basis that the moment something happens, some untoward incident happens, everything would come falling. And there is that risk and that associated anxiety that you're thinking at all the times that, okay, if something goes wrong or whatever, if my job goes away, if my contract comes to an end, or if the next client that we're trying to pursue, if they don't pay us or if they don't go on board, we will be not in a good situation. So all of that anxiety, and to be able to do what you really want to do, like what you want to wake up in the morning, what hobbies you want to pursue, what fulfilling business you might want to do, you might want to pursue that. That is why you need to become financially independent. Okay, so and it's also a strive for being happy and doing stuff that you like doing, rather than doing the stuff that just needs to get to pay your bills. So that's one aspect of it. The second, and the earlier we get into a financial independence aspect of it, the more important it is. You may not have the money right out of the gate, but your direction should be right and you should be headed in the right direction. If you are headed in the wrong direction, eventually down the road, you'll end up in a very strange situation. What you can do, there are, I'm not a absolute great guru on financial guidance. I live a very average life, so I may not be the absolute best person to advise. But my point of making this video was to kind of motivate you that you should strictly consider financial independence. You should try to read up on it first. And a few things that absolutely everybody needs to do, which I was telling you earlier, was that you should know exact what are your expenses for the month, for the year. What, like if you have kids growing up, what are the education expenses that are likely to hit you? You should have accounted for all of that. And of course, there's an untoward incident that happens, you should have 20-30% accounted for that as well. That's the one aspect of the whole thing. The other part is that try to find new avenues by which you can, and I'm not going to recommend you or advise. If you want me to talk about that, I can talk that in a separate video. We can have an one-on-one call as well as to what and how you can achieve that. But try to find alternate sources of revenue where from where you can earn money. And and there's this term called passive income, though I don't know if I want to call it passive, because there's nothing as passive in my opinion. Everything is almost active. You have to be actively involved in something to be able to make money. It's just about the amount of time, and over a period of time you get so good at it that it doesn't require that much of your time. You need just like 5 minutes maybe, or 10 minutes a day. Earlier on it might just take you 3 hours or 4 hours to accomplish and do the same kind of thing that you needed to do in order to make that money anyway. So may not be applicable to a surgeon, for example. They still need to do the 3 or 4 hour or 5 hour to 10 hour surgery regardless. I'm using it for other instances. So these are the things, and if there are more input that you would require, or if there's feedback, put that into the comments. If you like the video, share it with others. The objective is that maximum people can benefit from this. And if you want me to deep dive on something, or if you have a comment that I did not touch upon, please let me know. I'll be more than glad to follow up in a follow-up video. Thank you.